just at the top of at Whitby, up near the whalebone, looking down onto the harbour there, both piers, the east and the west. Right, so there's the Abbey, that's what we've come for today. We'll be going up there around about 6 o'clock. It should be all lit up nicely for us. And they're booked in through the English Heritage. You're £13 per person, carers go free. So that's where we're heading. I've must spend a couple of hours around Whitby and a cup of coffee. Show you around here where we are. That's the James Cook statue and the whale bones. Whitby Ghost Walks from the whalebones tonight. 7:30. Adults £7, children £4. Royal Hotel's a big, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big Royal Hotel, massive. All the way down there.
It's a lot of scaffolding this.
Right down to where it's got. There's a few people going up the steps there, have we? I'm coming down. So we've come to the Abbey now, we've got the car parked. We're just having a quick look over the walls of the graveyard, looking down into Whitby town centre and the harbour. Yeah, come in. So on his way into the Abbey, you've got to make your way through the museum part. We'll have a quick little look round there. Not a great lot of interest in it, but you've got to go through it to get to the Abbey, down into the lift.
Good evening, my friends. If you wish to join us, we'll be starting momentarily in a couple of minutes' time. And if you are stood in front of me now and you can see my lips pressed, then you are in the right place. We will begin shortly. For many years ago, I thought that I had seen Count Dracula destroyed, but I was wrong. A year ago, Count Dracula returned here to these holy ruins here at Whitby, to seek his revenge upon all of mankind. He sought to create a plague of vampires to turn us all into blood-sucking fiends like himself, a willing army of slaves, the undead. And in this he was very nearly successful. We were nearly destroyed, my friends, but science and the peculiar weakness of the vampires allowed us to recover and gave us the victory. Professor Lucius Fell, I know that you all know this name, for he and a group of scientists had worked for many years into research into what might happen if there was a plague of the vampires. And as soon as there was, they swung into action. Now, I will not say more. I will allow the professor to speak of his own scientific advancements. I will instead talk to you something of the strange weakness of the vampire. When Count Dracula struck but a year ago here at Whitby Abbey to infest us all with the plague of vampirism, he struck down so many that he could not, like a general, marshal his troops. He created so many vampires that he did not have control over them. They did not know their weaknesses. They did not know their strengths. And without Count Dracula to guide them, they made many stupid mistakes in their quest for human blood. Some of them went out in the noonday sun and were immediately dissolved. Some of them turned into bat or wolf and then could not transform back. Some poor creatures turned from vampire into bat or wolf, but the transformation was incomplete. They became stuck as something else, some halfway point, a monstrous abomination. And you, my friends, you who initially were so shocked by the vampire plague, what did you do? Well, you found your unity. You worked together. You found your strength in numbers. You went to churches and cathedrals, other holy places where the vampire could not enter. You gathered together all your treasure, your silver, to melt down into bullets to defeat the vampire. And the priests and holy men blessed the water, the wafer, and other holy items, and slowly but surely we began to win again our victory back against the vampire. But Count Dracula is still at large. The fight goes on. But my friends, I think it is best for me to introduce you now to the hero of the hour, the savior of mankind. I would like you to give a good Whitby welcome to Professor Lucius Fell.
Thank you very much. Welcome, one and all of you, to the sanctuary of the ruins here at Whitby Abbey, now established as a safe refuge. I must also thank Professor Abraham Van Helsing. Now, when I first read the paper Professor Van Helsing had written on the history of the transmission of contagious diseases, little did I realize that one day I would have to use my own research just as he had used his. Now, my study was on how through history in different countries, medical practitioners have deliberately infected their patients to create an immune response to diseases. Now, I had also, like the professor, come across a kind of disease that caused a half-death, where the patient is physically dead and yet somehow still animated. Vampirism. Now, when this plague was unleashed upon an unsuspecting world, I knew that we had to move quickly and we had to take risks. We were battling for the fate of all humanity. Now, Professor Van Helsing suggested to me a friend of his who had been imprisoned by Count Dracula in Transylvania as a possible line of scientific inquiry. Jonathan Harker willingly offered himself up for experimentation. Now, I took blood samples and I discovered that his blood was now not entirely human. It was different, a hybrid form, and so it could be concentrated into a vaccine. Now, we immunized each other, and when we were attacked by vampirized patients, we discovered there was a secondary benefit to the vaccine. Not only were we not turned into vampires, but it acted upon the attackers. It paralyzed the vampires, destroying their ability to transform shape, to gain strength, or to hypnotize others. Easy to kill. So, some of these infected who tried to transform their shape, well, they became stuck as something else altogether. They were somewhere between a bat, a wolf, and a human. And these hybrid monstrosities are particularly interesting to me and my researchers because their blood is very rare, a totally different strain. And so with it, perhaps it can be distilled, refined, synthesized into a vaccine that will eliminate vampirism forever.
Very good, my friend, very good. But I think we must acknowledge in this another factor. We must acknowledge that luck has played its part. For were it not for the contribution of my dear friend Jonathan Harker, then we would be as blind men staggering in the darkness. And let us not forget, my friends, Count Dracula is still at large.
Now that was as much of the show that we could see as it continued further round, but it wasn't accessible for wheelchairs, so we paid really to only see a little section of the show. So that's the end of the evening at Whitby, and as usual we'll leave you some photos of what we've taken of the night. And if you've been to Whitby Abbey for the Illuminated nights, leave a comment in the comments below. Let us know what you thought about the English heritage. I wasn't very happy with it. I wouldn't come again because, like I say, you can only get so far around with the wheelchair, even though they do advertise it as a wheelchair friendly venue, and in reality it isn't. So good for able bodies but not good for disabilities. And as always, if you like the video, please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. It does help my channel for future content. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.